Good evening and welcome to Between the Lanes, episode number 126. I'm Ron.
I'm Shane.
Shane's calling in again this week. So let's go. Again, welcome to Between the Lanes, episode number 126. You can find us on YouTube as soon as this flips over. There we go. YouTube, Slot Racer is the channel. 126 episodes, some how-to videos, I guess I should say. I was about to say episodes. And some special episodes throughout the last couple of years. Facebook, Between the Lanes is the page. Race results for last weekend. I think I have some results from the weekend before too. So, the winning report. So, the Mid-American Hardbody Series was at Thaser Raceway last weekend. And it was an enduro race, a team enduro race. Team SBR was the winning team. Rick Stagan, Dave Garino, Eugene, and Dick Soul was the winning team. The second place team was Checkered Flag Racing, which was Fred Fowler, Bill Ridley, Dennis Clark, and Dick. And third place, we got to back up. We missed that. Third place team was it was Team 2, TOO. And that was Mike Wanino, Phil B., Sean, and Mike. Didn't have any last names on some of these guys. And then the Pin Jersey Series was at Dom's Raceway. Dom has an old American hill climb that was redone years ago. And no crossovers, so it's kind of a unique track. So in the trucks race, Matt Bruce was the winner. Jimmy Roselli was second. Joe M. was third. And then in the Cup, Matt Bruce was the winner again. Jimmy Roselli was second, and George Russell was third. Matt Bruce kind of romped the competition last weekend at that race. Good job, Matt. Buena Park Raceway, SCRA, was on the flat track. In the F1 race, the overall was Mill Conroy. Brian Warmack was second, and Dale Yamashita was third. They were all within a lap. Mill and Brian on the same lap, and Dale just a lap behind. And then in Can-Am, this is really not the correct thing, but the correct overall was Dale Yamashita was the winner, Mill Conroy was second, and Brian Warmack from the B-Main was third overall. Central Illinois Slot Series was at Logan Avenue Raceway, Belvedere, Illinois. Hardbody, Kurt Vincent was the winner by a few feet over Randy Lynn. Toby Kindick was third. In the 4.5-inch stock car race, Brad Ringer got his first CIS win. Ron Hirschman was second, and Joe Ligori was third. In the Can-Am race, Ron Hirschman was your winner. Joe LaMarca was second. Terry Watson third. And in LMP, Joe Ligori was the winner. Ron Hirschman second, and Joe LaMarca was third. And it was interesting because in Stock Car LP we had two Joe L's in the race. So that was like a first, but it's like, which Joe L is starting here? So, but it all worked out. And Joe LaMarca was a local racer, and he ran really good in all the races. And hopefully we'll see him at more races in the future. The Midwest Flat Track Series raced at Chicagoland Raceway on the weekend of the 4th. I kind of missed those results from last week, but here they are. In the Enduro class, Ezra Schatz was, this is JRL. JRL, Dale Lipe was the winner. Ezra Schatz was second. Bernie Schatz was third. And in the, so this is the B production picture, podium. Ezra Schatz was the winner. Dale Lipe second. Jim Kreider third. And I don't have any pictures for the Enduro class, which Ezra was the winner. Gary Gasport was second, and Dale Lipe was third. In Open 12, Ezra Schatz was the winner again, winning 3 out of 4. Good weekend for Ezra. Bernie Schatz was second. Dale Lipe was third. And then Retro East was at the race place last weekend in New Jersey. In the stock car class, Keith Libby was the winner. Jerry Herbert Jr. was second. Jimmy Williams third. And in the coupe class, Jerry Herbert Jr. was the winner. Matt Bruce was second, and Jimmy Williams was third in that as well. Chicagoland had wing car racing last weekend. The Group F, Mike Ega was the winner. Mark Rosenwinkel was second, and Dave Goss was third. In one motor box, Mike Ega was the winner again. Bernie shot second, and Mark Rosenwinkel was third. And they also raced Can-Am on the flat track. Chuck Gambo was the winner. Jim Kreider was second, and Bernie Schatz was third. And winner, chicken dinner.
And my cue for Sunday.
Right on time, as always. All right, so this weekend there's a lot of racing going on. The Mid-South is at American Adrenaline Raceway, Randleman, North Carolina. Hard body racing at Pro Slot. Hartford, Michigan. Midwest Spec Series is racing this weekend. Kids racing at Naperville. That's the B&E sponsored series. And at HMS in Bellevue, Ohio is the Penn, Ohio Cindy McMaster's, the McMaster's Family Benefit Race. They'll be racing retro stock car and coupe, I believe, on Saturday. And then Can-Am and F1 on Sunday. And a lot of raffles are going on for that race. Get your raffle tickets. I think you can go to HMS Speedway on Facebook and get information on that. Our CHR race cars. They have all that stuff listed. You can buy raffle tickets. You don't have to be there. But you can buy raffle tickets, and they got pictures of all the cool stuff that's going to be up to win. So, most of all that money is going to go to the McMaster's family. The weekend of the 24th, 25th, we've got the Checkpoint Cup at Buena Park Raceway. That's the annual SCRRA big race of the year. East Coast Flexi Series is at Speed Zone, Mount Holly, New Jersey. And the ORS, Ohio Retro Series, is at Mark's Model World in Canton, Ohio. And if you're interested in the Flexi Fest West 2020 race, it's going to be at Fast Tracks, California, home of the 2020 USRA Scale Nats, Rockland, California. Sign-ups are up and open and have been for a week or so. And you can go to the Flexi Fest West 2020 page on Facebook and find out more information. And we talked about that lead wire last weekend, last week, I should say. So, other than that, I've been ill the last couple of days. I don't have the flu, but I've got some kind of, I won't say a head cold, but sinuses and just feeling achy and all that stuff. So, getting better, but some stuff I had planned for this week's show just got put on hold because I've been in bed a lot sleeping. So, but I did put up, if you go to Between the Lanes page on Facebook, the long lost body armor how-to video, I have a link to that. Because we've talked about that in past episodes, and this week somebody said, hey, there's mention of this video, and I'm like, yeah, the long lost video that I can never find. It's on a different channel. But anyway, I found it, and I put a link up to that how-to. So if anybody wants to go watch that, they're more than welcome. But there's a link on the Between the Lanes Facebook page. So I think you shared it to somewhere, didn't you, Shane?
Yeah, I think I shared it to my personal page.
Okay.
Or my normal, my page.
Yeah, I thought I seen it. I think I had shared it to the out-of-sight page a long time ago, but it would be quite buried because it was. I mean, I think I did that video like 2 years ago or something, or close to 2 years ago.
I still, from time to time, go back and watch like the tire mounting videos and the other videos just to, you know what I mean? Just kind of like watching a movie. Sometimes you watch a movie and you watch it 7 times, and every time you see something new. That
right. Yep. You learn something different or see something you didn't see the first time, and yep. I can relate.
Yeah. I was like, oh, yeah.
I can relate. So, What's up in Shane World? What's going on at Port City Motorsports?
Prepping cars.
Prepping cars.
Painted bodies, prep cars, getting ready. Still on vacation mode, I guess, or still taking time off. No racing for me just yet.
Yeah.
Kind of enjoying it.
I
think I told you the story, and I may have told some other people the story. It's like I literally had to look through my bank statements because I had money left over that I'm like, how do I have this much money? I thought I forgot to pay my truck payment. And I paid my truck payment, but it's just like, wow, kind of makes me think, how much money do I actually spend racing? You know?
It's scary.
So.
That's scary. Well, that's I don't know if you still noticed on Facebook I guess it started today. I think over on the K&A Slot Traders page or something, the drag race was talking about, I don't know, drag racing's dying or slowing down, last I checked it a couple hours ago, there was 152 comments. So,
gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, they talk about the raffles and they talk about, payouts. And I think, I don't know. I mean, it goes through cycles and phases. Slot racing does.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, all forms of racing does.
Right. It's all gung ho and everybody's doing it, and then all of a sudden, a few slow down and a few more slow down, and everybody's like, "Well, why is it dying?
Oh, yeah.
What's the problem?" Well, I think a lot of it's just like you said. You look back at how much you've been spending on it, and you're like, "Wow."
Yeah, I mean, by no means am I quitting. I'm just taking some time. Yeah, I guess you could say I'm revamping.
I hear you. I hear you.
Got new chassis. I got new bodies. I'm going through my chassis and putting new lead wire and guide. You know what I mean? It's just getting ready.
Yep.
So hopefully whenever I start back up, I'll at least look like I know what I'm doing and have my act together.
Right. I mean, when you're buying, some of them drag racing tires are like $50, $60 a pair, doesn't take too many of them and you're in the hole. I mean, it's a lot of money for tires. I mean, yeah, they look cool and everything, but I mean, is slot car drag racing about performance or is it about looking good? I mean, I'm not knocking the drag racing thing at all, okay? Because big percentage.
Some of the cars they make, when you look at them, it's like, is this a real drag car or is this a slot car?
Right. Yeah, those guys are like the ultimate scratch builders. I mean, we've got retro racing at scratch building, but the drag guys, there's way more of them scratch building than there is retro racers scratch building. Been that way a long time. If you have a drag race and you get 1,100 entries to run brackets in a 2 or 3 day weekend, I mean, that's 1,100 cars. That's not there's no retro race that's ever had 1,100 cars show up for it. I mean, it doesn't happen. So, but those guys, some guys spend a tremendous amount of money. I know there's at least one guy, maybe a couple guys. I mean, they'll get you $400 or $500 just for a body, just for a hard shell body that they've done. I mean, they're beautiful. Don't get me wrong. I mean, but in bracket racing, I mean, performance really isn't the issue. But let's say, I mean, you can kind of throw anything out there, and as long as it runs.
I think we've talked before about it in previous shows. It's just a good, consistent car that runs the numbers.
Right. So I think some drag guys get too hung up. I should say people in general get too hung up in trying to keep up with the Joneses. And it's like, wow, he just got some $60 tires. I need those.
And now I got to get $60 tires. Yeah.
I can't really afford them, but I got to have them. And I think just guys over time, they start looking back and, it's like, wow, I'm spending all this money and it ain't putting food on my table. So
it's like I told someone, the biggest thing that I've noticed as far as me taking this break is I'm obviously not traveling, so a tank of gas is lasting me forever now because it's 7 miles round trip from my house to work.
Right.
So if I fill my truck up, I think I've almost went a month now on a full tank.
Yeah, go out of town 2 weekends and you've went through 3 or 4 tanks.
Yeah. If I go out of town, that's a tank and a half, you know?
Yep.
And then the food. It's like, all right, I go grocery shopping and then spend $100 on food, but that $100 lasts me 2 weeks.
Right.
I go slot car racing, and we go out, and okay, I want to have a couple beers with the guys, and I want to eat a good steak dinner, and I want to have fun,
Right.
That's $100 just in 3 or 4 dinners.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
Yeah.
I hear you. And then they're talking about the raffles, and I mean, personally, as far as I'm concerned, the raffles, I mean, I got nothing against them. I don't do them. I think it's just gambling. Like, it's no different than going and buying lottery tickets. I mean, okay, so there's a car up there and, 20 spots at $10 a spot, and you buy 2 spots and you spend $20 and you don't win. What do you have for your money? I mean, it's like, and I know some guys actually, they win cars for $20 and they turn around and sell them for $100, or, anything they sell them for over $20, they're making money on. You know what I mean? So I guess in a way it can be a business, but if you spend $200 on lotteries and you don't win nothing, and you win a car and you sell for $200, well, you broke even. I mean, to each his own.
There's a guy that races real cars, and he has it's called like a sponsorship thing. So basically, you say, okay, this is for like $1,000 worth of sponsorship, and you buy spots, like you said, and they draw a number. Well, like, if everyone pays and fills the slots, it's like a total of $1,500.
Right.
So he makes $500 putting this together and like promoting it.
Sure.
And then whoever wins gets $1,000. So it's like, all right, So there's all kinds of ideas.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, I think I've even did it once before with like a power supply. It's like, all right, no one's going to pay me $200 for this power supply if I put it up for $200. So I'm going to sell X amount of spots for this. That'll give me my $200, and you can get a $200 power supply for $10.
If you win.
Right.
If you don't win,
you're out of $10.
Yeah, if you don't win, you're out of $10. I mean, that $10 is gone. It's not coming back. I mean, so yeah, like I said, it's just a gambling thing as far as I'm concerned. It's up to those who want to participate.
Kind of like my max, maybe 30 whenever it comes to stuff like that. Because in my head, I think at some point in the next month, I'm going to waste $20 or $30 on something stupid. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. But to each his own. And then,
I mean, it's paid off because, the last time I entered a raffle was at the Turn and Burn race.
Right.
I actually won more money in the raffle than I would have winning a race.
Right.
Right. Great. I'm good now,
Right. Well, that's a little, to me, that's a little different, but I know what you're saying. But, as far as some of those guys saying, well, the raffle's killing drag racing. No, raffle's not killing. Drag racing will go on with or without the raffles.
Right.
So it's not hurting. I mean, if you got a guy sits on Facebook all day long and he just throws $20 this raffle and $20 that raffle, and whether he wins or loses, he's not spending money per se on that. He's like the raceway or raceways are not making money off that guy. But at the same time, the raceways made money off everything that's on that car in the past.
Right.
Like, if you buy a car online, those parts were bought at a raceway somewhere, probably 90% of the time.
Right.
Excuse me. So it's just the current raceways losing out per se, but the money was already in the industry. So there you have it. Shane's a gambler.
Every now and again, depends on the mood.
See, that's why you have money left. That's why you have money left over. You haven't been any gambling lately.
I can honestly say I've only played the lottery, like went and got lottery tickets one time, and that's whenever it was like up to 300 or 400 million or whatever. Whenever it was crazy, never been this high before, blah 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 blah. And everyone at work was talking about it, and I didn't even know how to do it. Like, I was asking the guys at work, and they were like, well, you got to use cash. They don't take debit card. And it's like, all right, and what do you do? Oh, we just go up and say, this is what you want. All right, well, how do I, I didn't know how to do it.
Right, right.
Because they were like, "You never bought lottery tickets?" I was like, "Nope."
Nope.
Like, if I want to waste money, I go racing.
Right.
You know?
Get some pleasure out of it.
Yeah. You know? And so, but yeah, and I mean, you know, some of the tracks we go to do the 50-50 raffle. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'll do that. Like, yeah, you know, here's what you get: 6 tickets for $5. Okay, cool. You know what I mean?
Right.
Looks like I tell people, whenever I go racing, any amount of money that I win, unless it's like in the $200s or $300s or $400, I'm never going to get back anything worth, you know, because of the money I spent to get there.
Right.
You know, like if I enter something that's like $1,000 to win and I win, then yeah, I made money on that deal because I'm sure it didn't cost me $1,000 to get there or to race and get cars ready for that race.
Right.
So,
well, there is no pleasure in watching the winning lottery numbers unless you're winning.
yeah. So, you know.
Yep.
And you got the people, oh, you can't win if you don't play. And, like,
Well,
oh,
and that's very true, but you know, I mean, I've known people that they'll spend $200, $300, $400 a week on lottery tickets, and you know, hey, it's their money; they can do what they want. But
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like when you play 2 or 3 years and don't win nothing except maybe $100 here or there,
it's time to find another hobby.
I'm thinking you could find better use of your money somewhere else. But hey, it's their money. Like we talked earlier, you can't spend it when you're gone. So
yeah. We had a guy that worked with us that whenever the scratch-off tickets were kind of the big thing, you know, it seemed like he was winning every week. And I'm just thinking to myself, how in the hell does someone have that good of luck to win? I mean, he was winning like $200, $300, $400, $500 a week.
Well,
to the point where like he was using the winnings to buy more tickets with, so what coming out of his pocket. I'm like, I wish I had your luck, dude.
See, when they first started the lottery in Indiana and scratch-off tickets came $250 on a roll.
Right.
And on each roll there was 10 winners or 15 winners. It was the same number on every roll. There was 10, 15, or 20 winners out of those 250 tickets. So a friend of mine figured, like, you know what, if I just go buy a roll of tickets for $250 as they were $1 a ticket, if I bought a roll of tickets, I'm going to have, you know, again, X number of winning tickets. Now, how much they're for, how much he's going to win, you don't know. I mean, there could be $21 winning tickets on there, okay?
Right.
Or, you know, maybe there's $1,000 winner on there. You didn't know. So he started buying, he would go down and he would say, I want to buy a roll of scratch-off tickets. And the dummy behind the counter would just reach down and grab a whole new roll, hand it to him. I'd hand him $250 and he'd hand him the roll.
Right.
Well, somehow the deal kind of come unraveled. And the state of Indiana stepped in and kind of shut that deal down because if he went in there and say there was 20 tickets left on an old roll, he would have to take those,
right, those first,
and then take $230 off the new roll. So then he got to the point where he had it in with this guy somehow, but the guy would call him and say, hey, I'm getting down to like the last 10 tickets.
Right.
Okay, I'll be over in a little bit. And, you know, usually he'd get there and the guy'd be putting a new roll of tickets in, or maybe there's 2 tickets left. And he'd say, all right, give me those and the next 250. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
I don't know that he ever came out really money ahead. I mean, he played that game for a couple of years, but he didn't get rich. I know that. So, but I guess it was the excitement of it all, and I guess suspense and anticipation.
Yeah.
Because I think the highest scratch-off ticket back then maybe was $5,000.
I was happy one time. There used to be a machine at the restaurant my mom worked at. You paid $1, got a ticket, and you peeled these 3 little strips back.
Right.
And I think I won like $60. I was like, all right. And they were like, oh, you got to keep playing. I'm like, no, this pays for breakfast and I made it to the car wash now. This will get my vehicle washed. I'm good.
Well, I had a guy that worked for me, and he had stopped and bought some scratch-off tickets on the way to work, and he came in and he was scratching them off, and he won like $1,200.
Right.
So he had to go down to, well, he lived in Indianapolis anyway, but he had to go down there to cash it in because it was over $1,000.
Right. Yeah.
So he went down to the lottery office and got the $1,200, and they had posters on the wall of like the current games, how many winners there had been, how many were left out there. And that game that he just won on, there was still like tons of high dollar winners still left out there. So he went and bought more tickets, I think at the same place, same game, and won like $2,400 on 2 more scratch-offs. So he wins like, almost $4,000 in 2 days.
Right.
But yeah, it was the only time he ever had luck like that.
Right.
So, but yeah, he was like, "Yep." I said, checked and seen. So he says, "I bought more of those tickets, thinking maybe I'd get another winner, get lucky." And he got lucky. And then the lady in charge of the shop, she wanted a percentage of that because he was scratching the tickets off on company time. Ay, ay, ay. That's another story for another day. Yeah, that got ugly. But he's scratching them off on company time. Yeah, well, it ain't your company. Well, it is. No, it's not. Yeah, that was nice. All right, well, that's all I got. I need to go get some more orange juice.
Yeah. I was going to say, we kind of deviated from the whole slot car talk, but it's gambling, so.
Well, I mean, yeah, raffles got us to that point.
Right.
So I think the secret word will be lottery.
Lottery.
Yeah, we never used that before, so people be like, what's I got to do with slot cars?
Yeah.
So, but drag racers, you guys are doing fine. It goes through cycles.
If anything, it'd be cool to get like an actual drag racer on the show and talk to him about it.
Yep. So when you drag racers want to come on here and talk, bring it on.
Yeah. It'd be cool, because I'm sure people get tired of hearing us talk all the time about road racing, but
Right. Well, and like I said long time ago, I mean, someone in drag racing should do the same thing we do, except make it for drag racing. Like,
right.
They could have their own weekly show, and they could just talk about slot car drag racing. And,
yeah.
Hey, it might help you grow. I mean, have a show every week and talk about what's going on in slot car drag racing and.
Yeah, where's the big races at, and
right,
new products, and like you said, basically the same thing we're doing, just drag racing.
Right. So, I mean, hard body guys could do it. I mean, retro guys could do it. I mean, a lot of.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
we try to cover everything, but then you can have your own thing where it just covers one particular topic and series.
Right. Yep. So. Yes, sir. Joe Bob. All right, so that's all I've got for this week's exciting episode. And until next week, it'll be episode number 127. Shane will be back. I'll be back. Hopefully I'll be a lot more healthier. And until then, adios.